Hello and welcome to part 2 of Excel and HeavyJob integration. Part 1 has shown you how to export data from HeavyJob into Excel. Part 2 will show you how to import it back in. We've got two windows here side by side. On the left hand side we see HeavyJob Manager System, and on the right hand side we see Excel. I have highlighted the necessary changes that I've made in yellow. As you can see, Asphalt Foreman, Operator, and Raker, their base rate has increased. The Pipe Foreman, we've changed the name. On the left hand side, if you look, it only says Description Foreman. So we've changed it to Pipe Foreman to make it more descriptive. I have added a line item in here, Truck Driver, with a code TD, base rate of $14. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove Truck Driver Heavy by right-clicking and delete. Now what's important to know about the Excel import is that it will match the pay class code, and then it will update the according fields along with it. If you have removed the code like we did right now with a Truck Driver Heavy, it actually does not remove that code or the entry from the library or the pay class setup. The Excel import only adds or changes whatever is already in there. It does not remove individual items. So we have saved this by going to File, Save As, and I'm going to place it on my desktop so it's easy to find. I'm going to override it. At this point we can close Excel. Now to import it back in, we can go to Exchange, Excel Exchange, and import from Excel. The first thing you need to do is select the setup file you're trying to update. So in our case, it'll be pay classes. On the left-hand side, you have to click Browse and then find the Excel sheet you're working on. If it's a different version of Excel, you may have to hit the drop-down menu and hit HCSS, and then double-click on the file to load it. Below the file name, you'll see a checkbox that says First Row holds column titles. This is important to know. Once you click Display First Row, this will populate, and you have to make sure that the first row does indeed hold column titles. For example, if our Excel sheet had numbers or codes in here, we can uncheck this. This just means that the first row will be ignored during the update or import. On the right hand side, we can now select which column title or which column matches our existing column in Excel. So our pay class code, as you can see on the left hand side, is in column A. So we can put an A in here. The actual description is column B. Our base rate is column C. Overtime factor D, and so forth. Finally, alternate code is column G. Once you've confirmed everything, you can hit import. HeavyJob will scan the Excel sheet and see if the code already exists. At this point, it will ask you, do you want to skip the record? It asks you this because if you already have a code in there and you've updated a certain base rate, if you skip the record, it will not update anything, so it will only add new items. If you hit override the record, it will actually check the code and it will override whatever you've entered in the Excel sheet. You can also select a prompt for instructions to override the record. So each record that's duplicate, you will get an option, say yes or no to override one. In our case, because we just exported it out and we updated it right away, I know that the changes I've made are correct, so I'm going to hit override the record. It's also a good practice to make a backup before you do this. You can hit Start Import. And as you can see, our truck driver has been added, our asphalt foreman, the base rate has been updated, and the pipe foreman name has also been updated.